Today's video is brought to you by the Ridge wallet, ridge.com/PIMPNITE. The Ridge is a quality, minimalistic front pocket product designed to upgrade from the old, bulky wallet. The Ridge is slim, RFID blocking, holds up to 12 cards and room for cash. It also has over 30,000 5-star reviews. The Ridge wallet comes in a whole range of styles, including carbon fiber, forged carbon, titanium, and many other styles to suit your needs. Ridge also offers other great accessories like phone cases, bags, mobile charging, knives, and a lot of other great quality products. Take advantage of the free shipping so you can get it fast, free returns if you don't like it, and it comes with a lifetime guarantee. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/PIMPNITE. That's right, ridge.com/PIMPNITE, and use code PIMPNITE, link in the description. Thanks Ridge for the channel sponsor and to all those who have purchased their products. What's up YouTube? For today's video, we went full U-turn, volt switch, and flip turn team. Back in 2016, I did this team, and we are doing it again. People, tonight I'm doing a shiny versus against Lady Crimson on Twitch. Make sure you check that out. That is happening right now, so check this video out and come and watch it afterwards. Make sure you are there. We're going to be doing that for many, many hours. Who will win the race? If you enjoyed those, check it out. Okay, today we've got a very interesting team. Obviously, we got 2 battles today, and this is actually quite a long video when you think about it, right? Now, out of all these moves, we've got U-turn, volt switch, and flip turn, right? So every time I used an attacking move, I would have to swap my Pokemon out. This was a battle against Shaltier on my Twitch, link in the description, and let's go. So I've got my only attacking moves as Volt Switch, U-turn, and Flip Turn. Now, I was allowing myself some other moves to add to the strategy, but essentially the only damage I could do was with those moves. So we got a Hawlucha lead here, which is pretty scary. What I'm going to be doing, right, is going for a Thunder Wave and paralyzing that. Now, this Rotom had nasty plot. We had Electric Terrain, a Volt Switch, and Thunder Wave. Now, this was usually designed to be the very last Pokemon that I would have, right? So when I use Volt Switch, I wouldn't swap out, right? So going for that Volt Switch on the Lucha, and it's going to have a Focus Sash as the very first Pokemon. I thought it did, but then I looked back and the chat was roasting me, right, because it didn't have one. So I'm going to be swapping into my Larvesta, right, and the Hawlucha is going to be going for a Sword Dance, another one. So it's like, man, this Hawlucha's got a lot of Sword Dances up. So with the Larvesta, right, I've got Safeguard, String Shot, U-turn, and Screech here. So Screech here is obviously go for the Screech, and then for the U-turn, it's got Max Attack and Max Speed. Now the Hawlucha is going to go for Acrobatics, outspeeding my Larvesta still, and that is going to be going down in one shot. Nothing I could have done there. Next Pokemon, we're bringing back in the Rotom Mower again. Now, the stats on this one, sorry, the EVs were max speed and max special attack. All I need to do is go for a Volt Switch here and take out the Hawlucha. Shiny Hawlucha looks really, really cool. Then again, Shiny Rotom looks pretty cool too. Like, you're mowing your grass, right, and the lawnmower, it's red. So my next Pokemon, right, I'm going to be swapping this out. Question of the day. This is for everyone watching this video. I don't know if someone is brave enough to do this. How many Pokemon swaps did I do in this whole video, including most battles? Can someone do it? I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to see if someone gets the answer in the comment section. All right, so we're going to bring in Scissor here. Scissors, max health and max attack there with the Adamant Nature and Swarm ability. So when its health gets low, those U-turns, they'd be hitting hard. So we've got the Slowbro coming here. It's going to be either go for a Water-type move or maybe a Fire-type move. So I'm going to be going into Wishy-Washy. Now, every time Wishy-Washy is going to come onto the field, all those little fishies, they're going to be coming together, which happened quite a few times in this battle. So now the Slowbro is going to be going for a Flamethrower here. Now, that was really good that I actually swapped out because Scissor would have got fried up in one shot. Now, this actually gets U-turn and it gets Flip Turn here, which is really cool. I actually think we need to have more of these sorts of scouting moves. I think they're very, very cool. It also feels great to do a theme team. I did this theme team back in 2016, so now we are in 2020, 4 years later, doing it again. But if you do want to check that video out, make sure you type it in the probably YouTube search, or I might even leave like a link in the description if you want to watch the original one. So doing some damage there to the Slowbro Gala, and we're going to bring in back the Scissor now. The good thing about this, I'm able to actually outspeed the Slowbro. So this one was Choice Banded as well. I thought about putting Roost on it. I was like, nah, let's just go for the Choice Band, U-turn there. There's no point running Technician either because U-turn didn't get a Technician power up. So Slowbro is going to go down. Things are pretty good there. I've only lost my Larvesta. So back into Wishy-Washy. All those little fish are going to come into a little big fish. Now, Wishy-Washy is definitely one of my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. So cool. I love the ability. So the next Pokemon is the Lurantis. Now, Lurantis is going to hit really hard here by the U-turn, but it will hit me very hard with the Grass type move. Now, instead of going for a Grass type move, it's going to be going for a Superpower, and it's got the ability Contrary, right? So it's going to get a buff in its defense and attack. So I got to take this thing out like stat before it sweeps my team. So U-turn does some really impressive damage still, which obviously due to that, that 4 times there. And now I can swap back in my Scissor. Now I know Scissor will take this out, but if I get outsped by the Lurantis, there is a possibility it could take me out as well. Now, it would have to go for a Superpower. It can't go for a Grass-type move, obviously, so it really needs Superpower. However, it's not going to get that chance because Lurantis is going to go down to my Scissors U-turn. So things are going really well. I've taken out half the team so far. But when you use a team just using these sorts of moves, you only get like a limited amount of damage, right? You can get walled very, very easily. Now we got the Gyarados coming out. It gets my Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy is still in its baby form now. It's below that sort of health. So all I can do is a U-turn or a flip turn. I know that I'm not going to outspeed the Gyarados, but I don't want to let it set up on me. So now it's going to go for a Power Whip. And Wishy-Washy, man, he just got schooled. Now we still got 4 Pokemon left, so things are all right. Now I've got Rotom, which is Volt Switch, could definitely take this Gyarados out. And I've also got one other Pokemon. Now, I wanted to include this Pokemon on my team because I thought it'd be important, right? Because this is the only Pokemon so far that can learn Volt Switch, U-turn, and flip turn all at the same time. Now, the item I put in this one was Choice Scarf, and the other move I gave was Trick too, so I could trick off the Choice Scarf to some of the other Pokemon. So go for the Volt Switch there, and Gyarados is going to go down. That was really good. I don't think that critical hit mattered. The EVs on this Mew were max special attack and max attack. So relying on my Choice Scarf to outspeed me, right? And, both of those, all the moves that I got were getting some nice damage on them. So Mew's got to obviously swap out, and now in comes the Goodra. Now, Goodra caused me a lot of problems, right? Because when you think about Volt Switch, Flip Turn, and U-turn, they're not going to be doing heaps and heaps of damage, especially a Goodra. Now, Goodra was their 5th Pokemon. They are going to be Dynamaxing that, and it's going to be super, super thick, right? Now, I do have my Rotom left. Rotom's not going to be able to do too much. I've got my Scissor left, and I do have my Mew left too, which is good. And I've still got one more hidden left. Now, when I was picking this team, I really thought about, Smeagol would have been great, because I could have gone U-turn, Flip Turn, Volt Switch, and Parting Shot, because I know there's someone in the comments going to be like, oh, you should have included Parting Shot, but I found it difficult to include that move with all the other moves as well. So I think I needed another Pokemon. So anyway, the Scissor is going to go down there to the Max Flare. Unfortunately, now I'm actually left with a couple of options here. I've got to go for the Dynamax Mew, right? I've got little options because none of my moves are going to take him out. So Dynamax Pokemon were very, very good against this team. Especially, Volt Switch, Flip Turn, and U-turn don't do heaps and heaps of damage either. And even if you get some stats up like my Rotom, you swap out afterwards. Unless you're the very last Pokemon. So going into the Mew here, what I'm going to be doing first is going for a Max Guard on the Trick there. Obviously using Trick to go for Max Guard because I want to stall out this Pokemon. Probably one more turn would be really nice there, and that can start doing some damage. So the best move I can use against a Goodra is going to be the Max Flutterby, and that's also going to drop its special attack too. Not that there's going to be too much of a problem with the damage it's going to be doing to my Mew. I was more thinking about afterwards and how I was going to deal with it, right? So it's going to be going for a Max Ooze there, boosting its special attack. Obviously, I'm going to be going for a Max Flutterby there, and Mew's got one more turn this too, so I'm going to be able to hit Goodra when it's outside of the Dynamax too, which is going to be really good. So we got the Dynamax drop there on this special attack, so it's basically back to where it was before, and it's got the leftovers as the item too, which is going to be kind of bad. Now, my last Pokemon can't do a lot of damage to Goodra as well, so I was in a little bit of a pickle there. I was going to say a little bit of a spot of bother, but I thought a little bit of a pickle worked better. So I've got my Max Flutterby here. All the other moves are not very effective, so only the Bug-type move is good. And now we got the Goodra swapping out, and now we got the Cinderace coming, and I was like, man, what am I going to do against the Cinderace? These Pokemon were pretty good, right? I only had 3 moves and some meme strategy. So the Max Flutterby is going to pretty much do nothing to Cinderace, and it's going to drop its special attack, right? Now, the only good thing about that, if it was a special set, but after seeing some of these other sets, I was like, nah, it's not going to be a special one, right? So Mew is back to normal, and I'm not too amused about that. And now the other Cinderace is going to be going for an Iron Head, changing itself to a Steel type of Libero, right? It actually doesn't flinch me, which is great, and I'm able to get a Volt Switch off, which is pretty good too. Now, I start to think the little things through. I was like, okay, Rotom cannot come in. Mew's probably going to go down eventually. Sharpedo. Now, Sharpedo, the only way to draw this out to use, if it's got high jump kick, I've got to draw it out, right? So my only way to draw that out is to go for Protect there and hope they go to the Libero fighting type and then go for the high jump kick, right? Hopefully it'll do some damage. If it doesn't, I got to try and get around it with the speed boost. They went for the high jump kick and they're going to change to a fighting type, and since the Sharpedo went for Protect, right, it's still going to crash and give itself some damage, and Cinderace is going to take itself out. That was beautiful there. Now I could have, like argument's sake, I could have gone for I've got the speed boost and then gone for a flip turn as well, but I could have had the chance of getting hit by another move, like maybe Sucker Punch could have done some sort of damage to me. So I needed all my health, right? I'm a Sharpedo, I'm not very bulky, so I've got max attack and max speed here on my Sharpedo. Adamantia going for that flip turn on the Goodra. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Once again, I'm sort of low on moves that would actually do anything to it. So I've got Mew, Mew's probably the best Pokemon. It's got U-turn, right? So into my Rotom, I was starting to think, should I go for Electric Terrain this? Or maybe I should go for like a Thunder Wave. I sort of want to see what it's going to do. So Goodra is going to go for a Dragon Pulse, and that is a clear 2-hit KO against my Rotom Mower. Now, with the Rotom Mower, I thought about it for a bit. I was like, should I go for Thunder Wave? Maybe hope for a Paralyze? And I was like, yeah, I'll just take the risk. So go for the Thunder Wave on the Goodra. That's going to be really good if I get a Paralyze. And if I don't get a Paralyze, it's going to be really bad. There should be a Pokemon, right? There should be called Goodra and Badra. Like, you know, it's evil counterpart. What do you guys reckon about that? Pretty amazing, right? So Rotom's going to get credit. Of course it does. I don't think it actually mattered due to the damage on the first one. Unless the Goodra got like a enormously high roll on the Dragon Pulse damage at the start. Next Pokemon is my Sharpedo. Now it's like, okay, does this Goodra have Hydration or does it have Sap Sipper? I know that it does have Gooey, right? So it's either got Sap Sipper or it's got Hydration. And I wanted to use Rain Dance to boost the power of Flip Turn, but then I was a little bit scared to do it. Like, I thought about this move for quite a while. And you know what I was thinking? I thought, okay, well, Goodra hasn't even got Paralyzed yet. And if it does get Paralyzed, you know, so be it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm actually prepared to battle this Pokemon, even if it doesn't get, like, any Paralyzed at all. So I took the risk here, and I was hoping, right, that I could get the no Hydration and Sap Sipper. It has used special moves. A lot of the time when it's physical, we'll have Sap Sipper, but if it doesn't, you know, it's usually a Hydration. So go for that Rain Dance there, praying that Goodra is not a Hydration set. It was a very, very risky play. We've got 3 minutes left of this battle. Goodra is going to fire off a Dragon Pulse against my Sharpedo. Does heaps of damage. Sharpedo is able to live there, only on 36 health. Now, Goodra gets another round of the leftovers here, and I get a speed boost. Not that it really mattered, I was always going to outspeed it, right? Now, I'm going to be going for a boosted flip turn in the rain, which is going to be really, really good. And the great thing about this team, right, guys, you can flip them off, you can turn it around, and then you can switch it around. So go for the flip turn. That does some really good damage to Goodra. Goodra does not have the hydration, which is really great here. So now I'm going to go into the Mew here. Now, Mew has got a little bit of health there. I feel like I can live maybe one Dragon Pulse really badly and then go for a U-turn, then go back into the Sharpedo. I do manage to live that, which is really great. Mew is a very bulky Pokemon, just at its normal stats. I wasn't even running any bulk on this thing at all. So go for the U-turn on the Goodra, trying to break this thing down. It just lives there. It lives the crit with the tiniest little bit of health. So now Mew's going to swap out, right? And Sharpedo is going to come back in, and Sharpedo is going to have to face the music here. However, I got that Choice Scarf Mew, and I know that I can get around the Goodra. Goodra's got to attack me here, and the Sharpedo is going to go down. But we have the Mew left, which is going to finish off the Goodra. And man, what a marathon of a battle this one was. That crit there didn't matter a fair bit. I feel like 2 normal U-turns that weren't a crit would have been enough to take it out regardless. I'm just judging on the damage that I did before, but we got down to the last 50 seconds in this battle, and the Goodra goes down. What a crazy battle there. Man, if that one doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. How many times did I switch in that battle? Make sure you keep that number in your head and add it to this one. All right, man, I gotta take a drink after that. These battles are long, man. Exactly like something else. So today's second battle, this one was against Skylar. And man, this battle was, I think this battle could have actually been longer than the first one. Some good quality English breakfast tea there, people, at a solid 10 p.m. at night. I nearly said 10 a.m. at night. So the first Pokemon we got here is the Toxapex. I was really worried about this, like Toxapex. The only move that could really do any sort of damage to it would be Volt Twitch, right? So I've got the Wishy-Washy as the lead. Now, Wishy-Washy can go for a flip turn or a U-turn. So here I got to opt to go for a flip turn, right? Because that's stab and U-turn's not. So this Wishy-Washy, I forgot to mention the EVs, was max attack and max health. So we got the Toxapex going for a physical set with a gunk shot, doing some pretty good damage to me. I'm going to go for the flip turn there and doing like no damage. Now my opponent did have a theme team. If you can guess it, let me know in the comment section of the video. So the next Pokemon is the Rotom Mower. Now I've got the, I was actually thinking of actually setting up on this, going for Nasty Pot like a few times. But then I thought, that might cause a swap and it might scare off the, the Toxapex, right? And I really didn't want that because I only had a couple of Pokemon to take this thing out with, right? So go for the Volt Switch. It does really no damage at all. I'm like, wow, that did nothing. And that was max special attack too. So I'm thinking maybe it's got an Assault Vest on it. Maybe it doesn't have Recover. It's got Assault Vest. Just judging on the damage, I think it might be something like, this was my thoughts, bro. I was like, okay, Volt Switch did nothing. It's got Gunk Shot. I'm thinking it might be a bulky physical attack like max health, max attack, Assault Vest, and 4 attacking moves. That was sort of like my thought process there. So going into the Scissor, getting around the Gunk Shot, which was really nice, and going back into the Rotom here. The great thing about this team, right, even though it was a meme team, right, you could get, like, the advantage on the opponent really easily, but then you didn't do a lot of damage, so it turned out to, a lot of the time it didn't really turn out to be an advantage. You just got a little bit of chip damage, and then, you swapped the next Pokemon, and that Pokemon took unnecessary damage, so on. So another really bulky Pokemon's going to come out here, and that is the Amoonguss. Now, I went for the electric terrain on that swap there, which is really good. Now, that electric terrain was actually really nice, because I believe this Amoonguss did have Spore. I mean, how often do they don't have Spore, right? Anyway, so I was happy to have the electric terrain on the field. Now, the best thing I can do here is go for the Volt Switch. I'm thinking, well, Scissor would be a good swap here. I could go back into Scissor, predicting like a Sludge Bomb, but maybe they know that I'm going to go back into Scissor. Like, what should I do? Maybe if they'll do another move. So I went back into Wishy-Washy instead, predicting them to go for a different move than a poison type move. So Wishy-Washy is going to go into its big form again, and we got the Amoonguss go for a Sludge Bomb. I was like, damn, okay. I thought that'd be too obvious to go back into the Scissor. So regardless, that's how it is. So now I can go for a U-turn here. I'm thinking, okay, if I go for a U-turn here, then go into Scissor, that'd be really nice. Amoonguss is going to outspeed me and it's going to take my Wishy-Washy out. So I was like, oh man, this is really bad. So losing my Wishy-Washy very early on there. I mean, in this team, right, Wishy-Washy probably was one of the... It definitely wasn't one of the best Pokemon on my team. The best ones were like Scissor, Mew... they were really good. So we got and Rotom. Rotom was really nice too. Sharpedo was a very sort of risky set, which you people get to see. So swapping up my Scissor there with the U-turn, and we're going to go into Larvesta. Now Larvesta actually got wrecked in the first battle, so this time I actually get to use it. So this has got Hex. I'm thinking, okay, I think I know what this set is. So it's Spore and Hex, right, to get that boost. Not that it's quite interesting. It actually gets Hex, and it's got its normal like status moves like Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to make advantage of it not being able to go for Spore, and I'm going to go for a Screech, right? Screech is going to drop its, its defense by 2. If it was like a special move, I could have gone for, if there was like a special move like Volt Switch, I could have gone for like Screech and Throat Spray. That could have done a really good job. Anyway, so we're going to be going for a U-turn here. I've got -2 on defense, max attack there, and Amoonguss is going to be going down. Amoonguss is nicknamed Pokemon. That's actually amazing. So my Larvesta's going to be swapping out there. It actually did something this battle. Hooray. And we're going to be going back into the Scissor. Scissor was pretty dang good on this team. It was a pretty solid Pokemon. Like, U-turn on Scissor is kind of nice. So another bulky Pokemon. Man, these Pokemon are so bulky, right? We had, this is 3 really bulky Pokemon. So we got the Corviknight coming here, go for the Metal Sound. That's going to drop my special defenses. Okay, right, this is going to be probably a special Corviknight. And now it's got the Metal Sound Throat Spray, raising its special attack by 1. So, okay, it's definitely a special attacker. If I get hit by this, I am definitely going to be going down. So, swapping out my Scissor with the U-turn. Well, you know what? I didn't have much choice here. The great thing is, I don't think in this entire battle, I'm actually starting to think, not that I would have needed to, I don't think I actually swapped out manually in this entire battle. I think I used my swapping moves every single time. Not that there would have been any advantage to do so, right? So Rotom Mower is going to be going for the Volt Switch there, doing some pretty heavy damage to Corviknight, which is good. And now I'm going to be going into the Larvesta. I thought Larvesta would be a good swap-in. It has half health and it can't do much damage. Corviknight is going to go for a Hyper Beam on Larvesta, and Larvesta's entire family tree is going to be going down the toilet. There's nothing you can do about that one. It would not have lived. So Hyper Beam Corviknight, people, only on PIMPNITE's channel. Next Pokemon out here is the Rotom. Rotom can clean up and go for the Volt Switch, and this is going to be really good. This was such an enjoyable theme team to do. Like, it was very, very fast paced. It was like attack, swap out, attack, swap out, attack, swap out. The battles were so long too, so it was very entertaining. All the people that did actually watch this one live, would have known that. So Corviknight is going to be down, which is good. So we got that, we do have that Toxapex left, which is nice too. So I've knocked out 2 bulky Pokemon. So into Mew here, and the next Pokemon was, this was actually pretty interesting. So we got the Clang coming out here. So I was like, okay, Clang. Now, I thought a little bit about this. Okay, I could go for a Flip Turn. But what if this is an Everlight set, and maybe it's going to try and set up something like Shift Gear? That'd be really bad if it did set up. So I took a risk here. I was like, I might be giving this Pokemon a really good item. It could be really bad if I did this. So I gave it the Choice Scarf. I got an Everlight, and it went for the Shift Gear. So that basically everything I did that I thought it would do happened. So that was brilliant. So now it's locked into the Shift Gear, and it can't do anything. It's got to swap out. It can't get going out to the Shift Gear. So we got the options coming out. They were swapping out that. You guys might be able to guess what the same team is by now. And we got the Pokedex coming in, which is the Rotom. Now, this Rotom was a nightmare. This caused me a lot. I think this was the longest part of the battle, trying to get around this Pokemon. So I thought, okay, well, I may as well go into my own Rotom. Let's see if my Rotom can, outplay this Rotom. So this Rotom's got leftovers too. So it's like, okay, I've only got Volt Switches. This is not going to be doing too much damage. So it's like, okay, let's go for Nasty Plot and see if I can get, some good damage against it, right? Now, I was actually starting to formulate a little plan in my head. Then I seen the Will-O-Wisp. I'm like, oh no, that's bad. Does this Rotom have an electric move? I don't know if it does, because I really wanted it to have electric move. I'll more explain on that topic, as the battle goes on. I was thinking, okay, if it's got that, it's probably got Hex, I think. So go for the Volt Switch here. I'm at +2, and it still does really, really underwhelming damage. So Rotom is not going to be doing too much. I guess the only Pokemon to be good against is Toxapex, right? So we're going to bring back in the Scizor with the Choice Band, and of course, Rotom is going to be going for a Hex. So Hex does, it's about a 4 to 5 hit KO against my Scizor. So I'm going to be able to bulk that one really nicely, and I can go for another U-turn and maybe swap my Rotom back in. So now, unfortunately, the Rotom is going to be able to outspeed me, and it's going to burn my Scizor, which is really bad. Now my attack is halved, and U-turn will not be doing that much damage. Like, it still does pretty impressive damage considering it's not very effective, but, Scizor is almost dead weight now. It's not going to be doing too much to Toxapex, and it's not going to be doing too much to, the Clink. Any of those Pokemon remaining, it's just dead weight, pretty much. So I really had to put a lot of faith right into my last Pokemon, right? Which is my Sharpedo. Now, Rotomir is going to be going for another Volt Switch. I'm trying to break this Pokemon down. It's so tanky to my moves, right? So Rotom's going to swap out, so I thought, okay, well, I've got my Mew left and I got my Sharpedo. I don't want to waste them too much. What I'm going to do is burn off this Scizor. It's done its job. I'm going to use it just as like a, just a sacrifice piece, or Pokemon in this case. I guess you could say Pokemon sort of like chess, but with Pokemon. Like, say the chess pieces were Pokemon kind of thing. So we're going to take some damage from the burn. I know that Rotom is already fast for me. It's going to go for another Hex and take my Scizor out. That's fine. Scizor was pretty much dead weight once it got burned. And it's a little bit of a crit there to rub some salt in the wound as well. So I'm thinking, okay, well, we've got my Mew left, and I've got my Sharpedo left. This has got it's still got a fair chunk of health. I'm not confident I can take this out in one shot. So I was like, okay, if I go for like maybe a Flip Turn here, that'll be my best move. Or I could trick it its Everlight and get rid of its leftovers. That could actually be fairly handy. So I thought, okay, let's make like, if we make use of Trick again, I might be able to have a little bit of advantage here. Like, Trick worked the first time at shutting one of the Pokemon down. It might be able to help out here. So now, finally, the Rotom has a Electric type move, which I was very happy and excited about. So I thought, okay, this could be my chance here. Then the chance doesn't lie with Mew. The chance actually lies with my Sharpedo. That was sort of my ace Pokemon. It was very, very risky, though. So now, a Mew's going to be going for a Flip Turn here, which is going to do some pretty nice damage. and Mew is going to be swapping out. Now it's like, okay, it's time, right, to go back into my Rotom, and I might just actually sack this Rotom here and give Sharpedo a fresh, like, sort of swap in it, because Rotom pretty much can't do anything, right? I mean, sure, I can take the Toxapex out, but that's, you know, that's about it, right? I was sort of in a position where I really need this Sharpedo to work. It was a risky set, though, especially with the opponent using Charge Beam. So go for the Electric Terrain, really trying to encourage the Rotom to go for an Electric type move, you know. And now we got the Rotom going for, obviously it's going to go for a Hex here. I'm already status from the burn earlier on, so I know this is going to do a lot of damage and take my Rotom out. That's fine. That's all good. Now it is time for Sharpedo time. And this, I sacrificed a few Pokemon for this to happen, and I really hope that I can pull it off. So this set was an Endure weakness policy set with Flip Turn Protect and Rain Dance, right? Max speed and max attack. So I was like, okay, Rotom's got to go for a Charge Beam here in the Electric Terrain, and Charge Beam misses on the Endure. No. Oh man, that was really, really bad. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I sack my Mew off now? I was like, let's go for it. 2 Endures in a row. The second one popped off, and the Rotom is going to land the Charge Beam. I think I would have cried if that actually missed. And I lived on 1 health, merch available, people. Now, my plan was slowly coming into fruition here. I got my boost in the weakness policy, and now what I can do, right, is Dynamax my Sharpedo. And what I can do with that, right, I can go for actually a Hydro Vortex instead of actually swapping out the Flip Turn after getting my boost right. So it's like, okay, Max Geyser all the way here, people. I know that I can take out Rotom. I know that I can take out Clink with that, and it's going to do some really, really big damage to Toxapex as well. So go for the Dynamax Sharpedo, and that's one big shark. If you saw a shark coming into you like that in the water, actually, I don't know what you would do. It's sort of like, it'd be like Jaws, right? If you've seen the movie Jaws, except Jaws wasn't a big purple shark. Okay, so go for the Max Geyser here, and this is also going to boost the power. We've only got 2 minutes left of the battle, so once again, the battles went for ages. And finally, the Rotom goes down. That took so long to take this Pokemon out. I cannot believe that. So the crit obviously didn't matter there, and we got the Rain up. Now, the Rain is going to be very important, not only boosting the power of that, but it could actually help me take out that Toxapex. Now, the best Pokemon to swap in here is obviously going to be the Toxapex, right? And in comes the Toxapex. Toxapex has 3/4 health left. I'm Adamant Nature. I've got +2 in attack, and I've got the Rain up too, and I'm using Max Geyser at the same time. So I'm going to open my big purple mouth, fire out that big watery laser, and Toxapex is going to go down, which is brilliant there too. That definitely helped me out here. So we've got a couple more Pokemon left here. We got the Clang and one more, so it's a very even game at the moment. I still have my Mew in the back here, but the clock is against us here. We've only got 60 seconds left. And this is, I do want to say, this is one thing about Sword and Shield I really dislike. At least make the clock 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the whole 60-minute clock in Sword and Shield, and previously that was absolutely amazing. Like, but if you're going to change the time, at least make it 30 minutes. So options, well, it actually ran out of options, and it's going to get fainted. So that had a choice scarf from my Mew. So there is one more Pokemon left. And this Pokemon, I know that I can one-shot, but depending on what item it has, if it's got a sash, no. But if it doesn't have a sash, I know that I can take it out. So I've got a Flip Turn here in the rain. They have not Dynamaxed their Pokemon yet, so that is their Delibird. It's going to be the Dynamax Pokemon. I select my move, and they are going to select that. So we got 5 seconds on the clock here. Now, the thing about this ride, if the timer does go down to 0 and you have selected both your moves, the battle will still happen, right? You still get both of those moves off, and I should, if I'm able to swap a Pokemon out before then, it can happen as well. So we've got one big Delibird here. I'm going to fire off the biggest Flip Turn I've ever flipped in my life, and this is going to hit really hard, and Delibird has a Focus Sash, and now Delibird can take me out with one other move. I'm assuming it's probably going to go for like an Ice type move. So Sharpedo's got to swap out there. It's got 1 health left. I'm a speedy Pokemon too, and now it's going to go for a Max Hail Swap against my Mew there on the swap. So I was able to swap out, and that, my friends, is the game, because the timer actually ran us out there, which is really, really unfortunate. I'd say that Mew would have probably gone down to the Delibird, and then I would have brought in my Sharpedo to take out the Delibird. If it didn't have Max Guard, I'm not sure. But a very, very close battle there. Unfortunately, we got messed over by the timer at the end. There was such a long battle. Hope you've enjoyed both of these. It was such a fun theme team to do. Maybe I should cover more of these older theme teams if they, for a good purpose in the end. All right, people. Peace out.